Hi, I'm Michael Nickerson. I'm a junior at St. Ignatius High School, and my business, Wolf Naturals, seeks to provide healthy, affordable, and very convenient protein and nutrition to athletes and health enthusiasts. So this whole thing started when basically my dad and I decided we just wanted to live healthier lives. So for him, he was really uncomfortable with like the way he looked, with his weight, and for me, I just felt really sluggish from eating junk food and all that stuff. So we kind of banded together and we decided we wanted to, live healthier lives. So as we were going to the gym, we soon realized that eating beforehand was kind of a hassle because you couldn't eat too much because then during your workout you just feel horrible. But at the same time, if you found lighter stuff, it was either way too expensive or it was filled with tons of chemicals like protein powders and things like that, where a lot of times you don't really know what's really in it. So, as I said, that's kind of a lot of the problems. A lot of times, if you look at the back of the label, there are so many different extra chemicals and ingredients that no one would know what it really is. So that's one of the main problems I have. So, what I decided, for example, with the Gatorade Whey protein bar, it's basically the equivalent of a Snickers bar. So there's almost the same amount of sugar, same amount of fat, more calories. Really, the only big difference in terms of being better for you is the protein, but that's weighed down by the fact of all the extra bad stuff that you don't want to put in your body before working out or even just in general. So that's why I created what I call the Wolf Pack. So it's a pre and post workout snack for athletes and health enthusiasts. So for your workout, you eat the fruits, nuts, and grains, so that way you can have the proper energy to get through your workout without weighing you down. And then after your workout is when you have my protein-rich jerky, which I cut down a lot of the salt and stuff like that compared to other brands, so you know that you're putting something in your body that's actually good for you. So the market that I'm bringing this product to, just colleges alone, the average for colleges spend on just the dietary needs of their athletes is about $1.3 million. That's a lot for only the dietary needs. And the general public as a whole, just in the US, they spend over $40 billion on health foods and organic foods. So this is a big opportunity. So the way I'm going to start out is I'm going to first target my core target that I want to go for. So that would be marathoners, local CrossFit boxes, fitness enthusiasts, and hikers. And I'm kind of going a similar route with the Cliff Bar, where they originally started off with just bicycle shops and worked their way up to the huge company that they are now. So how do you know that people actually enjoy my product? I did a blind survey at my school where I just had people trying out different things. I didn't get any of their names or anything like that, so I knew that they would be honest with me. And I got some pretty good reviews back from just about the jerky and about my fruit products as well. So again, as you see here, almost 100% of the people that I surveyed said that they would buy my product again. So that's when I kind of knew that this is a good idea, especially since as I was starting to bring stuff in, people were just asking me to bring in more stuff so they could buy it. Just yesterday, in the course of 3 hours, I got 10 different orders from people for jerky and fruit. So how am I actually going to get started? I'm actually already working with one of Cleveland's largest co-packers. So a co-packer is a company that actually manufactures the food for you, and all you have to do is just distribute it out. So they'll handle the labeling, the packaging, and the actual manufacturing of the food. All I have to do is just give the upfront cost, and after that, all they'll do is just take portions of the profit of every individual sale. So how do I know that I'm going to be able to get a return on my investments? So I get around $3 profit per each pack, which is pretty reasonable for the amount of stuff that is in each Wolf Pack, because other online jerky stores actually charge about $7 for less than what I'm giving. So what is my kind of final outlook on where I'm planning to go? So right now, everything I'm doing is handmade. It takes a long time for me to get it done with just only me. So that's why I'm going to the co-packer so they can help me actually make the food for me so I can focus on the actual business aspect and getting out to all the different people I want to get out to. such as local gyms and trainers, and then I can move on to farmers markets, health food stores, and hopefully get big someday. So, are you ready to run with the pack?
Thank you. Is this on? All right, cool. Thank you very much for that. And by the way, I have a chance to try some of this. It's very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would definitely be in that 100%. I would like to try it again. A couple of things. I just saw up there before Heinen's, Whole Foods. Mm-hmm. Where do you see them fitting into the journey as you start selling? You will sell direct for a while first and then get there. Or maybe you could just talk about like your process to getting to that point.
Yeah, so as I said earlier, I'm more so focusing on the individual gyms and trainers and stuff like that. I actually have a bunch of contacts with personal trainers. I've been friends with many different personal trainers over the course of a few years. So I've been talking with them, and I know that they're interested on bringing my product to their clients. So I know that that's going to be a big aspect. And then as I start to accumulate more funds and can get more work with that co-packer to produce even more, and as I scale to make more profit, and that's when I can go to retail, because I know that retail is going to want to make a profit themselves. So if I can cut down the initial costs, that's when I'm going to go in, so it seems more cost effective for them as well.
Got it. And have you by chance ever met Brandon or Jared Smith? They have a company called Numa, which is a sports electrolyte drink. They're in the Cleveland area. If you want, I'd be happy to connect them with you. They could be good mentors, but they created the sports drink Numa, and they're in places like Heinen's, but also they target those gyms too. So they might be good to help give you some feedback and just some direction there. So feel free to follow up with me on that.
Thank you.
Great job. So is this roll-up, is this meat in here?
No, so that's fruit.
Okay.
The reason why I brought the roll-ups is that was another aspect of my business, which I'm going to do later down the line. So initially I'm focusing more on the athletes and the general public, and then once I get a little bit farther in, then I'm going to focus on kind of kids. So fruit roll-ups, everybody knows the fruit by the foot and stuff like that. You don't really know what's in there.
Yep.
Where with my stuff, you actually know exactly what it is. I use actual fruit. I don't use any extra preservatives, stuff like that. Most I use is like a little pinch of lemon juice to make it look nice, and it doesn't like brown or anything like that.
So that's a great point, and if this is your packaging, I would definitely include that on your packaging.
Yeah.
And that leads me to my next question is, where do you get your ingredients, specifically the meat that you use?
So the meat I use is 8812 beef. It's actually ground beef, so it's actually a lot easier for me to incorporate the spices and things like that, so that way, in effect, it's easier for me to get the flavor in there, where if you use strips of beef, you'd have to marinate it for a longer time. So I can actually, in that aspect, get the flavor in quicker. And it's also easier for me to put into strips, and I can individually make them into different sizes, and it's easier for me to make different blends.
1 minute warning.
You did a very nice job, and I absolutely enjoyed the jerky. I liked hearing that you're looking at the handmade process and then the co-maker or packer benefits. How do you see the highest and best use of your time going forward?
So after I'm actually producing, I plan on focusing on actually marking it out. So I'll focus on getting the word out. So actually individually going to the different gyms and stuff like that, finding more contacts, that way I can get with personal trainers, clients, going to individual like health shops, things like that.
Two comments. We're running out of time here. One is I'd caution you to take a look at retail buying trends and segmentation within the populations, because brick and mortar shops are having a bit of a downturn in foot traffic. So determining what the right mix would be for brick and mortar retail versus other channels. Lastly, I'm working with an individual who has a company, and she has determined what the highest and best use is of her time. And what she noticed is that when she is present, they sell out of product. So as you're sensitive to when you're certain places and how that affects sales, it will influence and affect where you should be and when. Nice job.
Thank you.